はいません。
I thought we were going to start with DC Nation.
I mean, I wish that was still a thing. That'd mean Young Justice would still exist and potentially still be happening.
Nah, just move to the CW. How great of a TV show would that be?
Young Justice on CW?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say no.
I think that could be that would have potential of some sort.
I mean, like afternoon, not like a Saturday afternoon type cartoon, not like a primetime television like the rest of the shows.
I'm talking about primetime television.
Ugh. But like all the garbage CW puts in all that, I'm not into it.
I don't know. I think I'd be into it if there was like the same directors as like Flash and Arrow or something, or like the same showrunners. I think it would be good.
Nah.
Yeah. I think there's potential. If they did that it could also be really shitty.
Yeah.
I think there's potential.
Okay. Welcome to the Baker Street Podcast. My name is Watson.
And I'm Leo.
And today we will not be talking about anime.
Oh my god.
It's a strange occurrence.
It's the end of time. It's the end times.
But when we don't talk about anime,
they're prophesized.
We usually talk about superhero-related gobbledygook. And that's what we're here to do today.
That's what we've been talking about lately, at least. We talk about other things.
Everything on the CW has ended. And also on ABC, but I'll tell you how much I care about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I stopped caring after the mid-season finale, so there we go.
We did it.
I have no thoughts about that show anymore. Agent Carter, though, I love that show. Wish it were, still existing.
I'll go back and finish Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. later this month because it's going to be on Netflix because they already said that. And that's when I'll finish watching season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And probably be equally as disappointed.
Well, but the CW, they have a lot of shows, and also CBS, but you didn't watch Supergirl. I did. I thought Supergirl's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the one crossover episode from Supergirl this season. Outside of that, yeah, I did know the Flash Canary crossover, or not Canary, Flash
Supergirl
crossover, which was okay.
It was very okay.
Yeah, it was very okay.
I like how that happened, and then you see the episode wherein the Flash goes to Supergirl's Earth and then immediately comes back, and he's like, "How long was I gone?" and then says nothing about what happened.
Yeah, no, I pointed that out when me and Zach were watching it. I was just like, "Yeah, are we not going to address that?" No, cool, awesome.
Yep, I mean he just ran to an entirely different Earth. No big.
Yep.
I mean,
they just left it.
What are you gonna do?
We ain't going to talk about it. It doesn't exist.
We'll talk about it next season when Supergirl moves over to the CW, and we'll have a 4-show crossover.
That would be amazing.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
They said it's happening.
I don't know. It depends on who writes it. It might be good.
Jeff Johns should totally write it, or Kevin Smith. I feel like
that's Jeff Johns is the guy from Arrow. Which one's Kevin Smith?
Johns is the guy from. Jeff Johns is the creative overseer for all of DC Comics.
He also, well, Jeff Johns is also the one that helped to develop the Flash TV
All
show.
of them, yes.
Oh, well, he's definitely credited for Flash. He's not really credited for
Okay.
Arrow. I'm looking at it right now. He's credited for Flash on the series development.
Okay. Well, I mean that makes sense. He did bring back Barry from the Speed Force.
Yeah.
He wrote that. Um, Supergirl has this voice that none of the other three shows have. That's just kind of refreshing.
Hopefully, it just gets better as a show because, like, the couple episodes I'll be honest, my first exposure to Supergirl, I was at work,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on break, and I walked in the break room and I looked up at the TV, that's just sitting in the break room. That's usually just on some random channel.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's on TBS for whatever reason. But I looked up and I was just like, sit there and I started staring at the screen and was just like, what is this show? Because I had no idea what was going on. It made no sense, and it was just like, what is happening? And then Supergirl popped up on the screen with her uniform or her costume, outfit, whatever, jumpsuit thing. And I was like, wait, this is Supergirl? This is real weird. Because I guess I'm just used to all the CBS ones where
CW one.
yeah, the CW shows where like the superheroes basically on the screen the entire time. So it's just, I don't know, I guess I wasn't used to it. It was weird. And definitely the writing style is different, seeing as when I watched that episode with the crossover.
Yeah, the writing is a bit different, but it kind of needs to be with female-led cast.
A little bit. I mean, I don't know.
There are a few characters that they're like the characters that you normally hate, just by the way they're written. But the way that they act out those characters, the actors in that show are just spot on. That I don't. They're some of my favorite characters. Like
I haven't watched enough of that show. So
did you ever see Cat Grant on the screen?
I think so. That's the newspaper lady. Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched the entire Flash episode, which was basically about her.
Well, she had that great line. How about you guys? You look like a multiracial cast of a CW show.
Yeah. Like they made good jokes.
Yeah. Cat Grant should be real annoying, but I love her so much. She's one of the best characters in the show. Also, Supergirl herself is great. All of these shows have their main actor are all phenomenal. But since you haven't seen a whole bunch of Supergirl, let's just move on and talk about.
I did. I mean, I do have feelings about it, and I did enjoy the episodes that I have seen of Supergirl. Being the Flash episode, and the characters seemed all really good, and like I enjoyed it. It's just like I don't know if that's something I would continue watching. I mean, I might give it a try when it moves over to CW.
You should. It's really good. But considering you haven't like seen the rest of the season, I think it's pretty moot point to keep talking about it. Let's move on to the CW shows and rank them in order of how we enjoyed them. Let's start with Legends of Tomorrow because it was the shortest. It started and ended before both the other shows, or
really?
Started after and ended before the other two shows. Yeah.
How many episodes does it have? Because
16.
Yep, there it is. 16. Yeah. I think I got to episode 6. Before I stopped watching the show. I mean, I enjoyed it. Just honestly, I'll be honest with you. This show got really boring for me. Like, it got really campy, and it was like, why are we're doing the same thing over and over again, basically.
But like, that's like the appeal of these shows, isn't it? Camp?
It did. No, I'm not a big fan of camp, and I don't.
All
the
these
other
shows
two,
are campy though.
I don't feel that way about Arrow and Flash, especially Arrow. Arrow's sometimes really dark and doesn't feel campy at all, though. So I mean, it's
this
hard to say.
This season especially, but
yeah. So I mean, it's just like dark, haha jokes.
Oh, I mean, I'm just being serious about that. But like, thanks for the pun.
So was I, but I brought it back because I got a pun. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the parts of Legend Tomorrow that I watched.
You need to
I
finish
don't.
it.
I probably will. Here's the thing. I mean, right now I'm all caught up with most things. I'll probably go back and start watching things, especially since I'm almost caught up with the other random nonsense that I'm watching.
Oh, but
That is
like
not anime.
there's only
So
6 episodes on Hulu right now.
yeah. So I mean, that's the main problem because I think I'm like I'll have to wait until things come out. So
Mm,
again, but because I think I'm somewhere. Because I know things that happen. Like I know who Kronos is and stuff like that. It's just like I did not get that far because I think I'm on when they went right before they're leaving the future. So I think I'm in episode 7 or 8 because they met Future Oliver, which I know is episode 6.
yep.
So I think I'm somewhere in 7 or 8, but I don't. So I'm about halfway through it, or somewhere close to halfway through it. But with that, I mean, I know some of the things that happened with that show, and I was really excited with this show came out mainly because Arthur Dreville was going to be a time master, which made me laugh to no extent because I
Considering
thought
how
it was
much of a
hilarious.
bumbling idiot he was in Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I love him for that. The Pawns will always be my favorite, and I can get whatever smack I want for that. But I love the Pawns.
Me too.
But with that, I mean, I was super excited for that, and I do think just in general that he's a really good actor. And I mean, the show itself, I mean, all of the people in that show are all like side characters in basically all the other shows, but I mean, they're all good actors, especially Heatwave and Captain Cold being from Prison Break. I mean, their chemistry alone is really good. And just outside of that, all the other characters I think are good. And enjoyable. And I think when I eventually go back and finish the show, I'll probably really enjoy or really enjoy watching it. I hope for the most part. But I mean, from what I watched, it was really good, and I definitely do enjoy seeing how it ends up playing out. With that, I do know that they're basically leading up to the Justice Society of Super Friends or whatever.
Yeah, Justice Society of America. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
Both Arrow and Flash spent a couple episodes this season just making sure people go and watch this show, because even the crossover event for those shows this season was the Hawks.
yeah, it was Hawk related
And
or Supergirl related.
well, that was a different crossover.
Yeah, yeah.
But Arrow had the one where he had to find Adam again, and he had to have the one where Sarah came back from the dead, and we had to get her unbloodlusted.
Which I'm a little upset about.
Well,
'Cause I'm
they
like,
need to get her soul back, which was not the same as getting her unbloodlusted.
yeah, I was gonna say they got her soul back. She's still definitely bloodlusted, and they point that out in Legends of Tomorrow. I'm just like, wait, didn't we fix that? And then they're like, no, she's alive again. It's like, right.
Yep. And then Flash had
Flash had Hawks.
Firestorm episodes.
Firestorm episodes.
We had to get Jax,
And we had Hawks were the previous season, wasn't it?
No,
In season 1 and season 4.
No.
Or was that the beginning of this season?
This is season 4 of Arrow. No, that happened during the first half of this season. That was the crossover event, I believe. Yeah, it had to be.
Firestorm is the beginning of the season of Arrow. It's episode 4.
You mean Flash?
Yeah, Flash. My bad.
I love Martin Stein so much.
Me too. I love the relationship between Martin and
Jax.
It's actually really good. I enjoy that better than him and the other guy, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie. Mainly because I don't really like the actor that plays Ronnie too much. Like, he's an okay guy.
Well, he's dead, so who cares?
I mean, I don't know. He could be on Earth 2 somewhere still.
Probably, maybe, but like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring him back. I think.
But like, it sucks that Constantine has a real job now and can't just be Constantine cameo forever.
Wait, what is he doing now?
He's on Broadway.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Sad. Yeah, he's doing cool things on Broadway instead of being on daytime or nighttime television.
It would have been great.
I don't know. catching him with Arrow, I did actually enjoy him playing Constantine.
Let's focus on Legends of Tomorrow real quick, just before we move on to the other two.
Yeah.
You only got halfway through the season, which, you know what? Good for you. That's where all the best stuff happened. Did you get to the one where they went back to 1960s?
I got, because the first two episodes were plot where they leave, and then I got to where they were trying to stop the bomb sale. I got to where they met Martinstein in the past. That's the one that I saw that one.
Okay, no, that was the second half of the pilot.
Then I don't think I saw the second time when they went back. No.
Okay.
I only saw the first time that they met Martin. That first time.
Yeah, that was the 80s though.
Then no, I don't think I saw the one where they went to the 60s or something.
So 2046 future, we saw Deathstroke 2 and Connor Hawk and well, not Connor Hawk, the Batman Beyond Arrow, and
young Black Arrow, who I don't think actually had a name other than the Arrow.
He wanted himself to be called some super edgelord name that I forget.
Probably makes sense. I mean, to be honest.
After that they go back to 1960 and have a little jaunt there, and it's great. I am disappointed.
Maybe I did see that episode. That sounds familiar.
There's like 3 episodes within the 60s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds familiar, maybe. You're disappointed?
Yeah, I was disappointed in their use of Jonah Hex.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they went back to the Old West for an episode, and Jonah Hex was just kind of there. It's kind of wasted. Jonah Hex needs to be like front and center in anything he's in. He has to steal the scene. Otherwise, why are you using Jonah Hex?
I mean, that's Jonah Hex is an interesting character. A lot of interesting plot lines that could be used or done with her or him.
Yeah, the last great episode, in my opinion, is episode 9. Because a little spoiler for you here, Leo. Hawk Girl and Ray and Sarah get left behind in the 60s.
God. The title is Left Behind, really?
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, but they spend like months just chilling in the 60s.
Seems about right.
And we have character interactions, and it's pretty great.
So it sounds like that would be the next bit that I would be going into when I restart the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next, I'm gonna rate this. The show is rated. For me, I think I'd put it 3rd.
It would be 3rd on mine, I know for sure.
Because mostly I love all these characters. They all great actors. Martin and Jax and Sarah, Captain Cold, all of them. Except for the Hawks. I'm glad they're gone. Just stop. They're complicated. They don't even know what to do them in the comics. So how'd they think they were going to deal with them in this TV show? Also,
they should just be aliens like they normally are and call it good.
I mean, that's only half the time.
Yeah, no, I prefer that half the time though.
Yeah,
it's easier.
Just be like, hey, the aliens. That's it. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that their Vandal Savage is kind of disappointing.
The actor, or just... I think he's an okay actor. I think as I mentioned, I think it comes down to the choice of how they decided to handle it and make them like immortals and yada yada. I think it would be cooler if they didn't, because Vandal Savage is an immortal to begin with.
Yeah.
Just in general, even without the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he usually it's through other methods I don't necessarily remember off the top of my head, but I think that would have been more interesting just to go with a regular Vandal Savage than immortal Hawk-related Egyptian Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it was okay. The past wasn't even in Egypt technically, wasn't, or because those like when they went back always felt weird, mainly because all the white dudes and the one black priestess lady. I don't know. They were always interesting just because of the way it was set up.
I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about right now.
Because, like, there would be the flashback sequences where you'd see the two Hawks and you'd see how everything started
Yeah.
and how, like, they died. I
Uh-huh.
always just felt like those scenes were really, I don't know, weird just based off of, like, everyone was there, but, like, I don't know. They felt weird sometimes.
I mean, a little bit, I guess, but I thought it was fine.
I don't know. I'm never really sure what was that country or whatever. Like, was it
Oh,
Egypt?
it was Egypt.
Uh,
Yeah, it was totally Egypt. I mean, that's what they wanted you to think, anyway.
True. It definitely, looking at the total viewers it got, it started out strong and then it kind of went downhill throughout the season, though.
Yep.
But I mean, it definitely
But
kept
that's true
above
of
a million.
all
That
these
is true of
shows.
all shows. Well, that's true of all shows in general. That typically that goes down in viewer rating throughout the season.
Well,
Usually
no,
it
I
starts
mean,
high
like,
and then
that's true of all three of these shows that we're actually going to talk about.
I don't know. Arrow or not Arrow? Flash gets us throughout the entire season has a steady 3 million viewers in the U.S.
Okay, I was talking about quality, but okay.
Oh, quality, yeah, they slowly go down through quality. I'm talking about like actual viewer
Oh, okay.
average.
I mean,
And
yeah, whatever.
Arrow definitely has like a solid 2 through most of the season. But yeah. And that's total viewership, like DVRs and everything.
Yep. Mhm.
But yeah.
All right, yeah. So season Legends of Tomorrow is pretty good, but I'm just excited for season 2. Hopefully, we get some Alan Scott. Get some Green Lantern, but the magic one. Get some
We're going to get some cape.
get some Dr. Fate. Get some
They mentioned Dr. Fate like a couple times throughout that show from what I remember it too, because they mentioned the helmet once or twice.
Dr. Fate's helmet's in Constantine's lair though. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna keep that continuity or just be like, maybe he got his helmet back somehow. I mean,
I think it would be cool if Constantine came back, like that actor came back as Dr. Fate, because I think that would work.
no.
He'd be
has to
better as
Constantine.
Constantine, though.
Yeah.
I really, and I know we've talked about this before, and I know I'm getting off track again, but I do want to watch the Constantine show after I watched him in Arrow, because I'm like, he's a good actor, and I like this.
The show is fun, but like cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, which hurts because they'll never make that show again, just because didn't do well.
Also, he has another job, so
Yeah, as previously mentioned, he has a new job.
I mean, NBC did get the music somehow to use on Arrow, so they might just have the rights to the entire show. I don't know. I just it's mind-boggling to me how they got the music for Constantine to play in Arrow, because that was an NBC show, and CBS CW are not the same company as NBC.
Music rights are a lot easier to get a hold of than movie or show or TV rights. So.
But they also got to use Matt Ryan as Constantine.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a little bit harder, but getting music rights is actually really easy to do. Most of the time.
Since we're talking about Arrow, let's move on and talk about Arrow. I believe this season was better than season 3.
I agree.
But that's not that's not hard.
I want to preface again, I think about halfway through this one, because mainly I got off. Most of the time when I get stuck on shows, it's not because I hate them or I'm upset with something with the show. Usually it's because, I'm behind on anime or I'm behind on this thing for something else we're doing. And I need to go and catch up on that. So I start binge watching something else so I can't keep up with shows is typically my problem. And I don't preferably like staying up till 3 in the morning watching everything when I get off at midnight. So I think it's somewhere in the middle of this one, and I'll probably again catch up on this one shortly after it's done. But keep in mind, you can spoil anything for these shows, because I know I hear about most of them, and I know what happens. Like I know whose grave it is now and stuff like that, as well as I have all the synopsises of the episodes in front of me.
Thank God.
No, you're good.
Thank God they killed off Laurel, because my God, she did nothing since
Yeah,
season 2. Probably she hasn't done anything.
she was also kind of, I'll be honest, an awful Black Canary
Yep, I like her much better as her Earth 2 or 3 counterpart,
too.
Black
The one
Siren.
that the one that actually has powers.
The one that actually put the effect on screen instead of her just opening her mouth,
Yeah,
which is dumb because she's not even. It's a gadget. Why are you opening your mouth?
I know because it's how it's activated.
I mean, Cisco is probably real good, but I don't think he's that good.
I mean, my whole thought about how the gadget worked was always like she actually had to actually scream and then it amplified the sound is what I always assumed is what how that worked.
But like, there was that one time when she's like, "Same stream, different frequency." Eh. That god awful line.
I don't think I got that far.
Maybe not. That's fine with me.
I don't know. I don't know. I had a bunch of bets throughout this entire season of who was going to end up in that grave, and I did not think it was going to be Laurel. So
I was kind of hoping it was going to be Laurel because I'd like everyone else.
because I mean, my bet on it was like, I mean, and I do like everyone else in that season, but I mean, I had two bets on who was going to end up in that grave, and it was either going to be Sister or it's going to be Felicity, because in my mind, those were the only two people that Barry would show up for, because they kept showing Barry show up at the funeral.
Yeah, but like,
So, I mean, those were the only people in my mind that I thought he would show up for.
he's
So
friends
just
with Oliver, so I'd think he'd show up for anyone.
I mean, yeah, that's true. He is friends with Oliver, and he would show up just to help Oliver grieve. But I mean, in my mind, those would be the two people that he would want to see funerals for, or at least be there specifically for.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to support Oliver, or because he is friends with Felicity. But I feel, having actually watched all of this season's Flash, if Felicity would have been the one that died, there would have been some crossover grieving onto his show with that. As well as, I'm pretty sure it's the last episode of Arrow spoils who dies in, not a last episode of Arrow, but last episode of Flash spoils who dies in Arrow anyways.
Well, not
which
the
is
last,
how I
but
found
like second
out.
to last.
Yeah, which is how I found out who died. I was like, oh, well, okay, then I guess I don't need to watch Arrow now. But yeah, I'll probably go back and finish this season again.
I
as
think
I always do.
Arrow's secret that they were keeping for most of the season was played off much better than Flash's.
Yeah, yeah, there was more weight on it too. Because
I mean, I was all on board when Zoom first showed up, but like when we still didn't know at the half season, I stopped caring.
wait, which secret? The dude who was in the mask, or who Zoom was?
Who Zoom was?
Okay, because
I
I
mean,
figured that out right away.
The guy in the Iron Mask, I mean, we knew it was Jay as soon as he showed up. At least I did.
I thought it could be a couple people in the Iron Mask, but I knew who Zoom was as soon as he had showed up, or as soon as Jay Garrick met as soon as Jay and Caitlin found Hunter Zolomon, I knew exactly who Zoom was, seeing as Hunter Zolomon is Zoom. So
Yeah, but like we didn't know that Jay was also Hunter Zolomon, or the Jay that we met was also Hunter Zolomon and Zoom. But let's talk about Arrow first.
yeah,
So, Damien Dark.
yes,
I believe he is one of the best villains we've had this whole series.
agreed.
He's so much fun to watch.
I mean, he's just like everything about his character is good, like the way they use him and the way that he is portrayed.
He's always he's having fun every time he's on screen.
It's true, and that's always good to see. It makes things more enjoyable, I guess. With that,
A lot of this season was spent with Oliver trying to get elected as mayor of Star City, which is a popular story arc in the comics. I have not read it. Then again, I haven't read any Green Arrow.
from my understanding, Green Arrow is of a show, or not of a show, of a comic is more entertaining than I believe the show to be,
Well,
mainly
I mean, this show's just
because
like Batman.
it's funnier. Yeah, and the
The show's
comics,
trying too hard to be Batman,
and in the comics he's not Batman. Like that's not who he is as a character. I mean,
even
there
though
are
that's
still
how he started
similarities.
out.
Yeah, there are still similarities to Green Arrow and Batman, but I mean, he's a much more lighthearted comic from what I remember.
Also, he's
Mainly because I
married
mean, yeah, he is married in the comic to a person. Actually, I was about to say to a
to the
person
person that is dead.
actually that's not true because he's married to Sarah, not to Laurel, if I remember right. Because Sarah's still whatchamacallit, if I remember right, in most continuities. If I remember
Sarah
right, I might be
is.
wrong.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong because he's married to the Black Canary, which is Dinah Laurel Lance.
Okay, Shh, I don't always remember everything.
Yeah. But at the end of this season, but despite all of Dark's, what's the word? Just wrecking with the entire system and trying to make everything bad and trying to, genocide everyone. Oliver is put in as interim mayor until the actual election. And
It's true.
considering the election just happened, it'll be pretty much an entire term.
Yeah, he gets appointed mayor.
Mostly
With that
because
as
he
well
got
as
48% write-in, because good God, that is...
it's a lot of write-in.
Yeah.
He also kills the one lady at her request.
I mean, she was already dead.
It's true. So, as I mentioned, I haven't finished this yet. So, where did they leave the cutoff of where? Is he still on the island at the end, or did he finally get off the island? Because I think we only have,
For
I think
the
we only have
flashbacks-
one more year yet
Yeah.
there at the end
The flashbacks...
before he's back.
the worst flashbacks in the series to date. Basically, Amanda Waller shows up again, and she's just
Always.
like, yeah, but like, remember the beginning of this season, she put him back on the island
Well,
in the
yeah.
flashback. So she showed back up, and he's like, you did both the things I asked you to do. Good job. We could use your talent for murder.
Yeah.
So she gives him his box of stuff left behind from the first season flashbacks.
Yeah. All of his
His effects.
effects. Yeah.
And I don't entirely remember because I don't really care or super lots about what was happening at that point in the flashbacks, to be honest.
I think because each season has been 1 year on that island, so I think
Yeah.
there's only 1 year left on that island.
Yeah.
Or him being trapped on the island, giant air quotes, because he always seems to not end up being on that island for some period of time during those flashbacks,
Yep.
but always ends up back there. So I mean, I guess there's at least going to be one more season of that show, I assume. So
And
we
then
see the
can we
last.
drop the
island.
flashbacks, please?
No, we got to find out the one last year of that island.
No,
man.
I meant like after that. Can we just not have flashbacks anymore, please?
I mean,
Because
maybe
they stopped being meaningful after season 2.
it's true. I agree. I don't know where they're going to go from where they left off, though, other than Oliver being mayor. There's a lot of things they could do, seeing as there's 4-show crossover now.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, though, kind of to bring that all together, before any last comments about the Arrow, with the 4-show crossover, does that officially confirm that Supergirl's in Earth 1?
It doesn't have to be.
Because I always assumed in my mind that confirmed that she was in Earth 4, seeing as apparently
I'm just going
Earth
to call
3
it Earth
is where.
S.
Yeah, Earth S.
Because
seeing as technically
she's the
Earth
only
3
hero.
is where Supergirl. Earth 3 is where Dad flashes at. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Just call it Earth S because the only heroes there are, so far, Supergirl, Superman, and Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. As of yet, they could do more.
I mean, they teased something at the end where there's another pod that crash lands on Earth, and that's where the season cut off. So my guess is either Superboy's in there or there's some
Super
sort
dog.
of super animal.
It's Crypto.
Exactly. Or Streaky, the
Crypto.
super cat.
No one cares about Streaky.
True statement.
Crypto the Super Dog is the only one people care about.
He had his own cartoon
It was actually an okay cartoon.
for like a younger kid show.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure when I watched the show, I was a younger kid, so I thought it was okay.
I mean, we were like,
And by younger
middle
kid, I
school.
think I was middle school.
Yeah.
So it still wasn't a bad show, though.
No, it was pretty okay. So Arrow, honestly, I think we're talking about these in the order in which I've ranked them,
Yep, me too.
except for Supergirl. I think I'd put Supergirl above Arrow, but Legends of Tomorrow 3, Arrow number 2.
Agreed.
Not this show was this season was better than season 3, but like it wasn't enough better that it was like
better.
season 2 quality because
Yeah, this show's progression has had weird effects on how good it is. Because season 1 was pretty okay. Season 2
1 was
really
very CW though. Like really CW with Huntress and all that.
Yeah, season 2 was actually really good. Season 3 was probably the weakest season, and then this season is a lot better than season 3, but not as good as season 2. I do agree with those sentiments.
And people are just shouting out to cancel Arrow, even though it's getting better. Just mostly because people hate Felicity. I don't hate Felicity.
I love Felicity so much.
I mean, she is there a little bit more than she needs to be, but I don't hate her.
There was important parts for her to be in there this season, although she's officially off the team, so we'll see how much she shows up in the future.
Well, that's how much you know. She is not off the team.
Oh, I was reading synopsises.
She is the only one
I read
left
one that
on
said
the
was
team.
left the team.
She's the only one left on the team
Good,
so
good
far.
stuff.
I mean,
So season 5 gotta get the band back together because we're going on a road trip.
Yep, Blues Brothers, we're doing it.
Doing it hard.
Okay, so Flash.
I have so many feelings about this show, and it's what I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
Flash. When did it start getting dumb? Let me see.
I disagree, but okay.
After King Shark.
Yep,
King Shark was the last good episode, in my opinion.
So 15?
Yep.
Right after they got back from Earth 2?
Yep. Mostly because I love what they did with King Shark. Those effects were fantastic.
Yeah, no, I mean, this show, I call crap on it sometimes just because, like, some of the effects are blatantly obvious that, like, him running really fast or jumping over boulders is all CGI. But the animation they did for King Shark in general, they did really well.
And Gorilla Grodd.
And Gorilla Grodd were both really well done.
Speaking of
tell.
Gorilla City next season, it's gonna happen. And I'm so happy.
Gorilla Grodd and Gorilla Country looks really cool though. Just like because they showed it a little bit of just what it looked like, or the big statue at least. And it looked really cool. So that'll be interesting to see.
I mean, unless Flashpoint just ruins everything.
I'm upset with that, and that's what I want to talk about.
All right, so let's talk about it. No, let's talk about it now. Flashpoint, that's stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I'm just upset.
It's not going to last more than 2 episodes.
Yeah, Well, here's the thing about that. I have some words about that, but I'm real upset they decided to just forget the entire first season of the show.
Didn't we do this already in the first season?
Yeah,
or almost do this in the first season?
I'm entirely upset that they decided to they're just like, nope, we're not, just ignore the entire first season. But with that...
But season 1's better than this season.
It's true. With that, though, there was, I don't know what panel it was on, but Carlos, whatever his last name is, the guy that plays Cisco, was on a panel, and someone did ask him about season 3 of Flash and if they're actually going to do Flashpoint. His comment was, I mean, they could, and that he would be really excited if they did. Because I think that would be a good storyline to actually do.
But like Thomas Wayne's all about that, and we can't have any Waynes.
Exactly. I mean, that I would be real excited if we actually did Flashpoint. There was a Thomas Wayne and
unless we just get the joke right on the nose and get Arrow's dad just to play the Thomas Wayne of this story.
That'd be pretty great. I mean, just hitting everything on the nose. But no, I mean, I would be super happy if they did Flashpoint because I'd find it great. But I mean, Barry has both parents now, which I guess is cool. But I
Or
mean,
does he have both parents?
he should have both parents. If we did Flashpoint correctly, he should have both parents.
Unless Zoom still happened.
Uh,
After this Flashpoint.
I don't. I mean, technically, if he went back and if he saved his mom, I mean, everything gets rewritten to both parents are alive if they do it correctly. At that point, though, because then that goes to Reverse Flash and not Zoom, who are basically the same person, anyways. Reverse Flash is
Well,
just
I
from
mean,
Earth.
yeah, but like
Like legitimately, no, or like the only
all of
difference
Flash's
between
villains are real similar.
well, I mean, all of Flash's villains, all the other like villain speedsters, anyways,
Yeah.
are all the same person from different universes, basically, or they're supposed to be that another universe's version of that.
Except for Jesse Quick, because
Except for Jesse Quick. Although Jesse Quick's not a villain.
yeah, normally yeah, it's a dude and it's Earth 3,
Oh, yeah, okay.
so Crime Syndicate Flash.
Yeah, no, because Reverse Flash is Earth 1, who's regular Flash villain. There's Zoom, which is usually Earth 2, which is blue. I'm super excited because I'm curious to see if they do Black Flash now because they have that in canon, seeing as that's what Zoom turned into when he got taken by the Death Eater things,
Yep.
or Dementors or whatever you want to call them, the Time Wraiths. Also, why haven't the Time Wraiths shown up in Legends of Tomorrow?
Because they're not speedsters.
I guess that's true.
And they're not dealing with the Speed Force.
Yeah, they're not dealing with Speed Force. But I don't know. That got me off track. But no, like, I think if they do it correctly, because even if they do it correctly, I think that episode will that's season 3 has potential if they actually do Flashpoint correctly to be really good. What upsets me though is one that entirely erases season 1, and 2, it means we don't get Wally for another at least half a season. Which
yeah, but like
really annoys me.
This Wally's not quippy enough.
I don't care. I wanted Kid Flash.
I want Kid Flash too, but I want Kid Flash to be silly and have jokes. This Wally's too serious for me.
I'm okay with that, but I wanted Kid Flash. I wanted to see an experiment go wrong and him be faster than the Flash and have metabolism problems. I wanted to see it real bad.
I don't care if Wally is black. I just want him to have the mannerisms of either Justice League cartoon or Young Justice.
Wally's been black before.
I know, he's black in the comics. That's not my problem. My problem is when he's not joking.
I was going to say he is currently. And no, I do understand.
Unless you've read Rebirth. Read Rebirth. Read Rebirth, please. It is very good. Read Rebirth.
But no, he's good. I really like that character. And yeah, he is serious. He's way serious.
Mostly because his mom died.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of crossover in this season, though, on Arrow and then on Supergirl. He shows up a lot.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just real. I guess what it comes down to, I'm just real upset about the whole. We're gonna go back and destroy season 1, and it was like, what? Like, I legitimately was really upset after watching the show. I just like looked over at Zach and was like, really? And I almost just walked out of the room. I mean, I don't think that was a good way to end the season.
I agree, 100%.
And I feel it completely made the show up to this point like pointless. Like, it was the idea of a long time ago. I don't remember what year it was. The show Fringe. It just finished season 1, and they're announcing their season finale. And there was like the promo for it was at the Super Bowl, and basically their season finale was, hey, we're going to wrap up all of these storylines into a nice neat bundle for season 2 so people can start watching it. And it was just like they had a bunch of really cool storylines and ideas going on that they can continue on, and they're like, all right, cool, we're not doing any of that, and they basically rebooted the show with season 2. That's what I feel happened here. It's like, all right, cool, we have all these storylines, but we're going to start over now and do something else. And it's just like, why? And I mean, I understand that's basically what Flash is about on most occasions is he reboots the universe because he's the only person that ever does anything big.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that, I mean, there's not a whole lot of point in doing that for this. And people also pointed out, is this going to affect Arrow?
It can't.
I mean, it could.
It cannot. No, it'd be too confusing for viewership. It can't.
I agree. It couldn't affect the other show.
It can't affect any of the 3 other shows at all.
It would be hilarious if it did.
Just suddenly Laurel's alive again.
Yeah, just suddenly like a Laurel's alive again. Just the Hawks are back.
Felicity and Oliver never married.
Yeah.
Just fix all the things people hate about the show.
Yeah. Just reboot the universe, fix all the things. It's all good. They realized the shows were all being bad, so they're like, let's just fix all of it and reboot the universe with Flashpoint.
Snart's not dead. Oh,
That'd
sorry.
It's fine. Like I mentioned, you can spoil all these shows. I mean, like I figured stuff like that. But
I hate that they killed him off, but it was meaningful, so it's okay. But I don't want him dead. I want him to be in. I just want him to exist, and I love that character. Why
that does make me a little bit sad that he's dead because he's one of the best Flash villains. Mainly because I don't know if I've ever told you, but Flash is definitely between Flash and Green Lantern. They're my 2 favorite superheroes just in general.
Yeah.
Just based on who they are and their quips on most occasions. But the Flash in comics and his interactions with Captain Cold are honestly the best because almost half the time they're just like, all right, cool. Did you take your meds today? No. Okay, you should do that, and I won't put you in jail. Because like Flash's villain, Flash cares about not even just the people of his city, but the people of his city, villain and normal people alike. Mm-hmm. And it just comes down to just like, I enjoy Flash as a hero a lot.
Yeah,
and I feel that they ruined this show by doing Flashpoint a second time. Because I mean, I thought we were done with it. Because my thing is, Barry made progress. He was perfectly fine. And he mentions like after being in the Speed Force, I understand and I've moved on past my mother's death. Obviously, you haven't, seeing as you went back and saved your mom again.
But like his dad just died, so
yeah, and I don't know, it upsets me. I am confused though, and maybe you have a little bit of insight on this. When he entered the Speed Force, when he was talking to said Speed Force as Joe, they mentioned to him that they were upset that he gave up his powers, but not the fact that he gave them up for Wally, just that he tried to get rid of them. Were they referring to Flashpoint, or what do you think that they were talking about with that? Because, I mean, the only thing else I could think of was Flashpoint, because he mentions, like, but I gave him up for Wally. He's like, that's not what we're talking about. I'm just curious what they were talking about then, because I assume they were talking about Season 1.
Did they do Flashpoint in Season 1?
Yeah, that's the entire point of Season 1 is that he goes back and saves Mom.
But he didn't save his mom.
I mean, he did, yeah. Didn't they do Flashpoint in Season 1?
I think, no, he stopped himself from saving his mom. I think. I don't remember.
If they did not do Flashpoint in Season 1, they got damn close to doing it.
Yeah, they almost did, but they didn't.
Because I know Barry was standing there in the doorway because they even point him out and then he disappears.
Yeah.
Because I thought because from what I remember,
he had that moment where he came in after the Reverse Flash already killed pretty much mortally wounded his mom, so he could have that last conversation with her.
He did do that, yeah. But I want to say there was like
that was Barry at the door. Mm-hmm. So he still has his powers, so I don't think that's what the Speed Force was talking about. Unless this changes the fact that he has powers.
Well, I mean,
because if his mom doesn't die, does he become a forensic scientist?
Well, from what I remember, yes, he still does.
Okay.
But because with Flashpoint in general, he doesn't become the Flash if his mom doesn't die for whatever reason. The lightning doesn't strike him. Just because Because it's the idea of like when he went back in time when we was talking to Zoom, it's a time ripple. No, like when you pass the speed barrier, when you pass the sound barrier, it makes a boom and it ripples and it moves things. It's the same thing when you pass a time barrier, everything gets shifted. That's why why Bruce gets shot instead of Tom and Martha, and why the Atlantean and whatchamacallits are fighting, Amazons are fighting. Like everything gets shifted.
So I haven't read or watched Flashpoint, so thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, that's the entire point of Flashpoint. It's just like when he goes back, when like
stuff just changes. And
yeah, basically when like I mentioned, how Reverse Flash always mentions it to Flash is that when you went through time and changed the past, when you go through, like when a sonic boom happens, like you push everything to the side. When you break the time barrier, you make a time boom, which shifts everything basically. So it causes other effects to happen, like Martha getting shot, or not Martha, but Bruce getting shot, and Amazons and Atlanteans fighting and stuff like that. So it causes him, for whatever reason, not to have powers.
Speaking of time, time remnants. What even are time remnants?
I mean, they explained it pretty well.
No, they didn't.
I understood what was going on. And the idea is basically, and he did explain it in the last episode, but not very well. It's the idea of he moved fast enough to travel back in time, like 5 minutes, basically.
But he was still there.
Yeah,
in
basically.
The present.
Yeah. So
doesn't that mean that at some point he'd have to travel back in time and get himself dead?
No, because future guy dies, not present guy. If that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I'm going to try and explain this to you, and it may not make sense at all.
It already doesn't make sense.
Okay, time travel doesn't make sense ever. But basically what happens is you yourself, because it's the idea of there's going to be two timelines here. But timeline A moves forward. You're not going to win, so you go fast enough and you travel into the past where you loop around a couple minutes before you go into the future and lose. So then you help out past self before he has to go into the future. And then future self that saw you lose is the one that died.
Okay.
Supposedly. I guess technically it's not necessarily sure if we saw future self or past self die there.
Okay, that makes sense for Flash's side, but that doesn't make sense for Zoom's.
I can't explain Zoom's. That's how Flash would work, though. I mean, Zoom's is just the fact of he's going to it's probably something along the same lines. I'll be honest with you, but at that point, I would not be able to confirm or deny that. But that's what Barry did, for sure, on his Time Revenant or Time
not
whatever.
Time Revenant,
Time Revenant. Time Remnant. But with that in mind as well, I mean, I don't know why they just didn't do the thing of just where Reverse Flash just did the game of I move fast enough to be two places at once, because we could have just done that and done the same thing. But with that, I mean, that would have killed Barry.
They should have explained it like a time mirage, like they kept doing in season 1.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, being in two places at once. I mean, it's just like they could do that, but if they did that, I mean, if Barry did what he did, and like if they would have done that, that would have killed Barry then, if he was spinning around that thing, because it killed the time copy.
Not necessarily. They could explain it however the hell they want, and we'd accept it.
It's true. I mean, instead, no, we're just going to reboot the universe and call it good.
The show was real good up until season 15. Then we had season 6.
Season 15?
Yeah, season 15. Episode 15, yeah. And then we had the episode with Speed Drug, and then whatever flashback was. I don't remember. Oh, that's the one where he went back in time, and then Pied Piper was good.
Yeah. I'm really confused on
that's the only thing that changed.
That episode's real weird. And I'm curious, like, and at this point, he's not even good now. Because again, with the whole rebooting the universe thing, I mean, if it really affects all the shows, that would be hilarious. But God, that would make things confusing if you don't watch The Flash. Which is why they really can't do that, I guess.
I even liked episode 21, where he's just trapped in the Speed Force. That was a good episode. And then episode 22 was just like, Everyone talk to Barry. He
Yeah.
Everyone talk to Barry, please.
Also, Laurel Lance is dead, is what we find out, and
Yeah.
Doppelganger. So, what about Earth 3 Dad?
I hope we see him again, but I doubt we will.
I guess he's actually, yeah, he's Earth 3 Dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
uh,
comics Earth 3, just this continuity's Earth 3 where they're
yeah,
just counting.
DC
It
TV Earth
could
3.
actually be Earth 346 and we would never know.
Yeah. He, for the purposes of the TV universe, he is Earth 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you're correct. I mean, he could be from any Earth, really.
They're probably going to end up calling Supergirl's Earth 4.
I mean, that's what I assumed to begin with, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I find it interesting that I'm curious to see if they can pull it off, but if they bring like the Flash group that has all the speedsters together, because that would be interesting, just to see like Wally,
Barry, Bart, everyone.
yeah, just all the Flashes. Because I mean, I feel that would be a good storyline if they could bring everyone together. Just because it would be funny.
But
I mean, we wouldn't be able to get Bart for a while, though.
I want a season without a speedster villain, please.
It's hard to do that, seeing as Snark's dead.
We've got the rest of the rogues except for Heatwave.
Yeah.
What's his bucket? Weather Wizard still hates Barry. Mark Hamill still hates Barry.
Mark Hamill's busy, though.
Is he, though? I mean, he can show up for an episode. Come on.
He could.
Like he's been doing for the past 2 seasons, being not Joker.
Oh, I meant the whole, being Luke Skywalker.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but like he's showed up for Flash before and just been not Joker.
It's true. I mean, we have a lot of things we could do, because, I mean, we still got Rival we could do, and Inertia, which are all basically Reverse Flash.
But like, those are speedsters.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think next season. I mean, I'm looking at a list right now. I mean, Gorilla Grodd's definitely going to show up again.
Can we just make Gorilla Grodd the main villain for the season, please?
That would work for me.
I would love that.
But I mean, basically, what's left? I mean, there's a lot of heroes we could do, or not heroes, but villains. But what it comes down to is like Gorilla Grodd. I don't know. Flash's villains, regardless,
every time they've written Gorilla Grodd episodes, I love them. They're so suspenseful. It's basically a shark movie with Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all like, outside of Gorilla Grodd, everyone else is kind of gimmicky, to be honest. But that's Flash's point.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we could just get Mirror Master be the villain.
I thought we were going to do Master Villain. Legitimate. That is actually one of his enemies.
Oh, just
no,
Master Villain.
Yeah,
that's a real dumb name for a villain.
we could do Black Flash, though, because I mean he now exists, who acts as the Grim Reaper of speedsters. Seeing as legitimately he now exists, in the universe, I think he's the only one that would come next.
I'd rather him just show up for like 1 or 2 episodes.
Although Black Flash, I mean, he's seen in Rebirth, as you mentioned. So
okay, so
he's still really new, but I mean that we have him.
Now, see, we've already done Rival and Reverse Flash and Zoom, because Zoom was basically Rival and Zoom.
All of those people are the same thing. I want you to know that. Rival, Reverse Flash, Zoom, and Inertia are all.
Yes, but we legitimately did Rival and Zoom this season.
Did we?
Yeah, because...
Oh, yeah, no, we did do Rival. You're right. Okay. I had to look that up real quick, but yeah, we did. The only one left really would be Inertia.
I mean, we could do that, but like, why? I don't think that'd be a great idea. Just bring Captain Boomerang back from Arrow. Why was he on Arrow? I don't know.
I mean, because I don't know.
We
The
could just
problem, actually, we may not be able to bring in Inertia mainly because he's a Thawne and Thawne's dead.
maybe not.
Actually, now that I think about that, maybe not. Now that I think
Uh-huh.
about that, we rebooted that whole universe again.
I
So
think
yeah,
season 3 we should either have the rogues be the main villains or Gorilla Grodd.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We're missing a couple of the rogues though, because we're who are we missing?
Lots of people. I mean, one of
Yeah,
them's dead, and the other
well, because
one's
we're
on
missing.
Legends of Tomorrow. So we got Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, Trickster. I mean, we don't have Mirror Master, but I want Mirror Master.
Yeah, we'd be
Uh,
missing Mirror Master. That'd be about it. Mirror Master and Glider are the only people that are current.
what are
Oh,
you talking about? Weather Wizard and Trickster.
no, no, no. I mean, on the current list of like the affiliations with the rogues, the only
Oh,
two that we're missing are the Glider and Mirror Master.
Golden
But
Glider.
with
What
that,
are you talking about? Golden Glider is in the show.
is he?
She?
Oh,
Snart's sister?
I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't. The names didn't come together for me.
Yeah.
With that though, you could put anyone in there
Like,
as well.
just we
You
got
can
Weather
you could
Wizard and Trickster and Glider.
and you would have
So,
to fill this for Captain Cold and Heatwave, but I mean, you could put just like Captain Boomerang, or
uh,
you could pull back Pied Piper. You could put anyone in there for him.
but he's supposed to be good now. Or is he? Because Flashpoint. I'm both excited and not excited for season 3 of The Flash because this season makes me think that season 1 was almost a fluke.
I
They
mean,
just need to focus on their strengths and know what they can do and do it again.
it's a CW show. They're not like they have their ups and downs. So
I know,
something we
but like, there's
have to deal
this
with.
show had a lot of downs compared to the first season.
Agreed. I
But
saying that though, I did enjoy this season.
out of
Uh,
all 3 shows, this was the most enjoyable.
yeah.
Even if it did get silly and dumb at the end with all the horrible acting from Zoom.
What did you think about Jay or the actor or how that was portrayed for Jay? Like, how did you
Which one? We're talking about like Jay that we know in
Zoom Jay?
Zoom Jay? Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like his actor at all.
Mhm.
He's so not good at acting. I'm sorry, but like, you can't play crazy. You can barely play Jay, and you have zero chemistry with Caitlyn.
Daniel Panabaker.
Yeah, it is. It is worse than Oliver and Felicity.
I love Oliver and Felicity though.
But they don't have chemistry either.
It's true they don't, but I love them. Mainly just because I love Felicity. But no,
Don't go
I
on
think
to Reddit.
I won't. No, if we did, I don't Reddit to begin with, but I think a season on the Rogues would be cool, mainly because we could do a lot of jokes, because there's lots of jokes there to be made. With that, though, we do have to find a new Captain Cold or Heatwave, or replace them. Should just
Bring
get
him back for a few
Abracadabra.
episodes.
Should just get Abracadabra, or Doctor Alchemy, or the Plunder. Plunder.
These sound like really bad Marvel villains. To be
They're real
honest,
bad. They're real bad DC villains.
I mean, it's not Mrs. Stiltzman. That is
Yeah.
a villain.
Yeah, no. I don't know. We could just get the Rainbow Raider. Oh wait, we actually might have done that already because they emit color beams of light from their goggles. We might have actually done that. Oops. Jokes aside, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Lady Stiltman. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing, though. I want you to know if we did do a season with the Rogues, that basically brings in Inertia as well. Because, I mean, I think the plot line they would go with is the Rogues being hired by Inertia to steal the Flash's Speed Force. Which, again,
But
is
we did
basically
that
the
already.
entire... Yeah, but that's what all of all of the speedsters try and do to Flash is, I want to steal your speed, because that's the point of those villains is gotta go fast,
Is this
gotta
why
be the
Flash is not a
fastest.
popular hero on his own?
On his own, yeah, kind of. I don't know. I always like
Someone
the
above me
Flash.
flushed the toilet. Recording from scenic my apartment.
I don't know. I didn't hear it, so
Well, I hear it, but that's I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have any. I don't
Here's
have
the
anything else to
thing,
say.
though. If we get through Flashpoint, it means the faster we can get to Crisis on Infinite Earths. So that'll be pretty
But
great.
Crisis happened before Flashpoint,
No.
and I'm fairly certain that's what's going to happen on the four-way crossover.
Oh, Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
That would be interesting because Barry would die.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I
Considering
mean,
how much
he's
they changed with stories that we already know in these shows.
fair point. I mean, technically, he's supposed to die during that event, but he does get resurrected in the final Crisis.
And also Flash Rebirth.
Yeah. Then he fights with the full Flash family in Rebirth, though. And that's what I want. I want Flash Rebirth, because then we get Bart and Jay and Wally and Iris.
Wait, they're doing JSA on Legends of Tomorrow. Does that mean we're going to get Jay again?
They could. That would actually be great if they did that. If that's where that Jay went. If he just kind of moved over there.
Earth 1 J is just future. That doesn't make sense.
Earth 1J is Hunter Zolomon, though, not actual Jay.
No, that is Hunter Zolomon. There is a... Now, Earth 1 J would be Alan.
Oh, I guess
He's
that's
dead. Never mind.
He's dead. Yeah, I was gonna say he's. Well, no, he's not dead right now because Flashpoint.
That's true. Hank Allen could still be alive, but he's still not Jay Garrick.
He is not Jay Garrick. He is Henry Allen.
Henry Allen. I'm sorry. All the wrong names.
I'm pretty sure his name is Hank, or he might go by Hank sometimes, but it is Henry Allen.
No, I feel like there's another. No, I'm thinking Hank Henshaw, who is on Supergirl. Anyway, I think that's about wraps up our discussion here. Flash is the best of the season, but this season didn't end up being super good. To be honest,
It's true.
I have hopes for season 3 Flash, season 2 Legends, and season 5 Arrow, and also season 2 Supergirl. Supergirl, I think, might have. No, Supergirl's still second of the 4 shows for me because Flash did a lot of good special effects work. Even if Supergirl's special effects were always on point. Always on point. And there was a lot of them. It was real good. Anyway, yeah. Any thoughts? It's good. Go watch TV.
We watch lots of TV on most occasions, so yeah. Super excited
When's
for
the
all
Steven
the
Universe
new
podcast?
seasons. I don't know. Talk to Zach.
You need to watch it
Do we want to talk about where I'm at in Steven Universe?
right now.
Not right now, just in general. Do you want to know how far I am into Steven Universe?
Yeah.
I am. Let me find the exact episode I'm on, because I know what episode I'm on. I just have to find the number. I think I'm still in season 1 for one.
Okay.
I am on. Where are you at? Maybe episode 53 being the first episode of season 1 or season 2. Because for sure, the last episode I know for facts I watched was Jailbreak.
Okay. It's a good episode.
Because I'm pretty sure that's for facts. I'm pretty sure that's the last one I watched. I'm not exactly sure if I remember watching episode 1 of season 2.
You should.
But I do know that they're on
It's been real good.
season 3 now.
Yep.
That there is 26 episodes of season 2 instead of like 46 episodes like there is in season 1.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, there's 52 episodes in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
All right, so this has been the Baker Street Podcast. My name's Leo. No, I'm not.
And I'm Watson.
Yep. That was intentional. So you can find us on Twitter at Baker Street Geeks. We have a website, bakerstreetgeekery.com. Facebook, Baker Street Geekery. I am on Hummingbird and Tumblr, BSG Watson on Tumblr, and Watson at Baker Street on Hummingbird. Leo, where can they find you?
Twitter, Tumblr, here. If you want to email us, our email's there.
Our email is bakerstreetpodcast@gmail.com.
Other than that, you can find, if you almost on any website, if you look up TOHEWANKA, it is most likely me, and it's most likely a picture of me hitting a forge or hitting an anvil with a hammer on most occasions. That's me. So on most occasions. So if you're looking to get in contact with me, you can find me there, or on our Facebook page, which I actually look at pretty regularly. However, no one ever messages us, so I'm usually not worried about it. But yeah, it's actually really easy to find me because all my things are the same because branding.
You may have noticed that this is not the Snow White with the Red Hair podcast. We're working on it.
Trying to find a third.
We need to find a third person. So if you want to come on and talk about Snow White with the red hair, we'd be happy to have you.
Also, we're going to be at Anime Expo June 30th through the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Come say hi to us.
Yeah, we'll have a great time.
I don't know if we'll be walking around together because I disappear a lot, but if you see one of us, the other will probably be somewhere nearby.
I'd like to be in cosplay, but my cosplay is heavy and makeup. Also, it's July in California, so I don't think I want to go as Iroh.
Nah, but beard. I gotta put a bald cap on you.
But then you'd also have to make up.
I can make up, just not as well as other ladies that normally do your makeup.
Well, we'll figure it out. I might show up as something, maybe not.
I will show up as Colin.
Jokes.
Inside jokes.
Alright, so until next time, see you later.
Bye-bye.